We are live, you guys. It's Thursday, March 19th. This is Bryce McKinley and the REI Results Academy. We've got Shannon on here, my Director of Operations, Bernie, one of our Academy members, and one of my good friends, business partners, Bob Wilcox on here. So if you guys are watching this, make sure that you click on the event in the group, click the Zoom link, and make sure you join us live. And we're here to ask and answer any questions that you might have. And yeah, this is fun. I was just telling Bob about this call. So if you're new to the group and you're wondering like, what the heck is this? Well, every Thursday in my academy, we have a Q&A where we just get answers to questions throughout your daily business. We role play. Sometimes we call clients and try to secure lockup deals right here live on our call. And if nobody has any questions, we do what we call Stump the Coach. And we do a little role play where I act like the buyer, you act like the seller. And we see what happens. We see if you can stump me. So Gazim, what is going on, my friend?
Hey, Bryce, how are you?
Man, I'm fantastic. We've got Gazim, Bernie, Bob on here, Shannon on here, and I'm excited to be doing this. You know, the world is going to hell in a handbasket, and everything's going virtual. Just puts a bigger smile on my face because I've done 99.99% of my deals completely virtual over the last 7.5 years, and it's nothing new to me. I mean, I changed my shirt, you know, that's all I do. That's the only thing different. I change my shirt and show up every day, jump on these calls, talk to sellers, and try to help you guys. So let's do this while we wait for others to get on. Shannon, if you would help me out and share this, invite people or whatever, let people know in our academy that we are live.
Yeah, you didn't send the link. I don't think you sent it to Facebook Messenger this time.
Oh, see how it is? Everybody should just know where we're at, right? I just assume everybody knows what time it is. It's 5 o'clock.
I have to go digging for it.
So,
if you don't walk,
I'm going to start with Bernie and Gazim. Bernie, go ahead. What were you saying, brother?
I have a question for you.
Sure.
What you don't walk properties, so what do you do? What do you have, acquisition teams in like all the cities that you do business in?
Yeah, man, that's a great question. So rather than me walking the property personally, what we do differently is we look for a number of different criteria, but predominantly I use like struggling realtors, some GCs that I've used, like some general contractors, and interns in and around the community of choice. And we set an appointment with the seller, or if it's at a good enough price, we just lock it up and do an inspection later. Now, what that looks like as far as the process behind that, you know, if you as an academy member, Bernie, you know, on step 4, we're going into that close part of our conversation, and we are either securing the contract, one, and then doing an inspection later, or we're setting the appointment to do the inspection, or while you're scaling your business, going out and meeting with them yourself. And so what we do is we set an appointment and we manage the calendar. So we train that realtor, the GC, the intern, whomever that is, and we teach them how to manage effectively a calendar. And when that acquisition person, or I myself, and or one of our acquisition persons sets an appointment, they just put it right on that person's calendar. So depending on who's available. So for example, let's get real crazy and show everybody my crazy calendar. Let's do that real quick. So if you're looking at my calendar, you can see my calendar here has all these different colors, but I also have Cassie and David and Cutter, and I don't have them listed here because you can't see them, but these other boxes, if you check those other boxes, you'll see other colors pop up, and I could see who is available And then, for example, I'll do this. So let's say this is my GC's calendar, and I see all this pink unavailable, but there's time right here at 12 noon on Tuesday, or after 4 on Tuesday, or let's say tomorrow after 5 p.m. to 6, I could set an appointment. So I would go in, I'd click that button, and then I would say, okay, well, I want to put it on David's calendar. So now David shows up, and I'm just going to put this is only a test to show someone for training, right? So then we set this appointment, we hit save, and boom. Now David is going to get this appointment on his calendar and all the notifications that I would have set. So I could set that, I could add all these different notifications, I could change it and set, like 1 day ahead. We could do 12 hours ahead. So we have all these different notifications, and we hit save. And now that particular guy, David, is going to get the notifications, and he's going to be wondering what the heck. And that's why I put this is only a test. Normally I put the address and the description of the property and contact for the tenant and or homeowner's name that he's meeting with. He goes out to that appointment, takes all the pictures, fills out the inspection sheet, sends it back, and within 24 hours, we call back and make the offer. That streamlined process has helped us scale tremendously and rapidly. And so I'm going to go ahead and unshare my screen and delete that over there. But I hope that helps somebody. And let me get that off of here.
So Bryce, question about that. Sometimes do you ask the owners to just take a picture and then send it to you by email?
Sometimes. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to hurt. The challenge with that is that, and the reason I don't like that is twofold. One, I don't get somebody's hands and eyes on it that knows what I'm looking for. And two, who knows if those pictures are taken today? They might have been taken a year ago. If I'm selling a property, I'm going to find old pictures of that property, and I'm going to send you the best looking pictures. If I've had this place for 5 years and it looks like crap because it's been a rental for 5 years, well, I'm going to send you the pictures from 5 years ago before they moved in and it was up to date and looking clean and looking fresh, right? So me personally, I don't like getting pictures from my tenant and or owner. Tenants, they usually don't have the same skin in the game. So if there's a tenant and it's a difficult, maybe I'm busy and I can't get there, I might be more susceptible to taking tenant pictures. But I don't like taking pictures in the word of the sellers because they're selling the property. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, that's very valid.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my opinion. Bernie, does that get your original question answered?
Yes, sir. It sure does. Thank you.
Absolutely. So I went live like right on time. I usually wait till like 5 or 10 after, but once every month or once every other month, I open this up to the public for a Q&A call. So if you're just coming on, in the comments section, there is some feedback here, Bernie. So I'm going to mute you. So if you need anything, just raise your hand or unmute yourself. But if you're just coming on and you want to join us, this is an open mic Q&A. I want to kind of share with the world. So feel free to click the link, join us. There's links all over in the event that I created, but this call was all for you guys. So great question to start this out, Bernie. Thank you for that. Gazine, thank you for clarifying with your question. I notice that we've got a lot more people on here now. Vanessa, Mike, Vic, Serena, Wade, Valerie. Welcome to your call, you guys. I miss you guys. I know Tuesday we had a great call. So talk to me. How's everybody's week wrapping up? Like, what are some results that you all have experienced and come about? Mike, your camera's a little blurry, brother. There you go. Clean it up. I love you, man. What are some wins? What can we celebrate with you guys? Kazim, I want to celebrate your consistency, bro. Like every morning you're making your live stream and you're being consistent and you're
Yeah.
putting that out there and letting us know you're up, you're doing your routine. You should be super proud of yourself. And I know that our team is, and I hope that the rest of the academy is, and is also encouraged by that. So
Yeah. Appreciate it, man. It's been good. It's kept me steady. It's kept me consistent. So I appreciate using that platform to keep me accountable. So thank you.
hey, my pleasure, man. Thank you, bro.
You're helping me accountable as well. I see your ass up every morning. I'm like, oh, I got to step my game up too, man.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Glad to hear that.
I love it. Thank you, Mike, for sharing that, man.
Yeah. I got my Anderson Business Advisor folder. So,
yeah, that's a good thing. Tell us about those results, brother.
well, I got Holding LLC being started in Wyoming. One property that we own is going into another LLC that's going to be owned by the holding company. Another company's being formed to operate and do some flips and other things down here. And then we're forming a third company that's going to be a property management, short-term rental income property that's going to push everything through as far as money is concerned and all that stuff. And that way our short-term rentals, we can actually sign a long-term lease for, so it actually will cash flow on paper, so that if the bank is requiring to see that there's rental income, instead of, you know, a lot of people aren't into short-term rental, like the banks won't accept short-term rental income because it's so sketchy. Well, we're actually going to be signing a lease with our property management company, and that'll be able to, we can then take that and use that as leverage to get, or to show that we're getting income from our thing, even though it's not the case or whatever.
I love it. Tammy, I see your question here. It says, is this in the inner circle? I thought I heard you said open it up for everyone. Yeah, so like once a month, I open up the Thursday Q&A call to everybody in all of my groups. So this is open to the Q&A and role play and things like that. If you've got something private, we can definitely discuss that. You can message me where it says everyone on the chat box. You can actually message me direct, and I will tactfully answer your question. So yeah, no worries. Oh, I got you. So Tammy, if you want to message, type it in the chat directly, and I'll show you how to do that. So if I go into that chat here, I can message you directly, and I will not share any private information. Boom. There's a private chat for you right there. So it just is directly toward me. Appreciate you asking that.
So we'll see. This week's coming up, man. This weekend, boy, I'm telling you, I'm psyched, man. I got the first 4 yes leads that are open to doing owner financing, and I got another 10 leads through my VA that aren't into doing owner financing, but I'm gonna hammer the shit out of them, needless to say. And so I'll actually be on the phone this weekend calling. So I'm excited, man.
Good for you, brother. Good for you. And because I got started right at 5 o'clock, I didn't make our announcements. So for you guys that are a part of our academy, you know that once a month we have a guest speaker come in. I've got 2 powerhouses in 2 totally different industries that are going to show up for you guys over the next couple of weeks. Just trying to nail down schedules. So as soon as I know, you will know. But I've got the Lynette Wolf and the Wolf power couple. If you don't know who they are powerful, powerful people in the real estate business. They've been doing this stuff for like 30 years. They buy and flip and owner finance like 50 to 100 properties a year, something like that. I don't remember the exact number. Mike, if you know, feel free to share, but I think it's right around like 60 to 70 properties a year that they're flipping, and just as many owner financing. I've got a scheduled appointment with her tomorrow to solidify, but hoping to get, for you guys that are in the inner circle, paid academy members, our guest speaker, Lynette Wolf. She's a powerhouse. She's worked with Ron LeGrand for the last like 15, 20 years. And
oh yeah, they're some good people, man. You're going to get her and Brian, probably both,
Yeah.
And they're averaging, I think they said between 6 to 8 deals a month, and they're spending on average about 5 hours a week to get those deals. They are super automated on every single aspect of their game. That way they're maximizing their time.
Yeah, and I met her by proxy, by accident. Mike was at a mastermind here in Dallas last weekend, and I was like, man, I got to go see one of my guys. And so I drove down there to see him, and she just so happened to be still sticking around at the event. And I heard her cold calling and prospecting, and she's a beast. And you guys all know that I love cold calling, and that's exactly what she was doing. She was calling some of that mastermind's deals for them, and it was pretty exciting. It was pretty exciting. So she's going to be one of our guest speakers. I've also got in the next 2 to 3 weeks, we're just trying to solidify a lady that I've used for the last probably 10 years, and even more so since I've been in real estate the last 7.5, 8 years for all of my evictions. She's forming her own company. She's a beast. She knows what she's doing. So if you guys ever need anybody, especially in Texas, because that's where she specializes and licensed at, but she's got a lot of knowledge and wisdom on evictions and processes and things like that. And her name is Lisa. I don't even remember what her last name is, because I've just known her as Lisa for years, and she just recently got married a handful of years ago, so I don't even know what her last name is. But Lisa has an eviction company. She's going to be a guest in here. What's up, Jeanette? What's up, Patrick? What's up, Dr. Amanda Glenn? I see you guys jumping in. But Lisa and Lynette Wolf are going to be two of our power investors and industry leaders that are our guest speakers coming into the academy. So if you're not a part of my academy and you want to learn more, just shoot me a message. So I've got a question in the chat. Patrick, Valerie, Dr. Glenn, if you guys can open up your cameras and your mics, that would be greatly appreciated. If you can't, I understand. But Patrick asked, he says, hey, Bryce, there's 2 houses near my house for sale. What should I say to the real estate agents? I'm a wholesaler and I want to profit from these houses once I find cash buyers. So Patrick, my personal opinion, I wouldn't waste my time. If they're retail and on the market, you're looking for off-market properties that you can contract at a discounted rate and sell for a profit. And so if they're on the market, they're at retail, you're not really going to be able to make anything on that unless you have some other strategic resources where you're maybe negotiating like a private money or not private money, but like subject to and seller or owner finance, and then selling that contract. But realistically, unless you can get them to get out of their contract with their agent, get it at a reduced price, and then turn around and sell it, it's probably not a great deal, but I don't have all the details. So without those, I wouldn't know. So I hope that helps. Hope that helps. If you're just joining me and watching this on the live, like the 10 or 15 people that I see, click the link in the event and join us. So that way you can get your questions answered. Who's got a question? I would love to help.
All right, so I got I see that Gazine put in the on the text there about leads. So it looks like I got 288 leads to generate 188 calls that they were working, and they got 15 altogether. And this is them, they contact each one 3 different times.
3 different times a day?
Yeah, they call 3 different times throughout the day. So after they call it 3 times, then they call it a dead lead at that point.
Where are you seeing
once in the morning, once in the afternoon, and once in the evening.
Where are you seeing this question?
It was a private question.
Oh. So sorry about that. I didn't even notice that part.
I see you guys.
Yeah, sorry about that, bro.
No, it's all good. It's everyone could benefit from that knowledge, so it's all good.
Yeah, it was 180 calls, and there's 15. There was 15, of which 4 of them said yes, and then the other ones said 11 said no, but you could still wholesale them or go into them towards other things as well. So
that's quite efficient. 188 calls and you already got like 15. That's pretty good. That's a good number.
Yeah, we'll see if I can snail. I'd really be happy to call my first one and nail that deal. So I'm actually going through a DVD on closing. I got a little DVD that I'm going to listen to from the Wolf couple on closing. They're actually going to be closing.
Mike, let's call them. Go Vanessa and her children. I see you guys in your Packers shirt.
Yeah, so yeah, we'll see. This weekend, I'm psyched, man. I'm definitely gonna get my first deal, I believe.
Bro, that's a great win for you, man. I'm super excited for you, Mike. Keep us posted in the group and our private chat over there, brother. I'd love to hear kind of what your wins are and let us celebrate with you. So.
Oh, for sure. You know that.
Who's got questions? We're talking wholesaling real estate, virtual wholesaling, sales scripts, pitch, cold calls, objections, rebuttals, comps, marketing. You got questions? I will answer to the best of my ability.
So Bryce, a question about like when you do your cold calls, right? So sometimes when you cold call owners, and let's say, for example, they don't want to sell, but they want to do some sort of lease option. Like, how do you navigate through that call? Like, how do you transition to, let's say, from a wholesale into like, let's say, a lease option, seller financing, owner financing, that sort of thing?
That's a great question. So I will tell you this, especially right now when we are going into an economic downturn and this kind of limbo area. I will tell anybody, not just Kazim because he asked this question, get laser focused on what you know best and go all in. What's up, Chris Song? Thanks for jumping in. Simon's, the book, The One Thing, it's a perfect example of that, right? Like, get laser focused on one thing and do that one thing best. Now, for me, I don't know lease option and owner finance and all of that. And not that I don't want to, but I've got to stay focused on the 400 other leads that I've got coming in every month from my radio ads and the other 100 leads that I've got coming in off my postcards and things like that are motivated sellers that I can turn and wholesale for quick cash, stay liquid. And so that's where I'm focused right now. That said, if that person opens up that conversation, how that conversation goes is, really, tell me more about that. What makes you think that that's the best option for you? And I'm going to figure out or ask so that way I can better understand, because a lot of people, like Vic and Wade, who was just on here, and Mike, like these guys have got that in their back pocket, Janak, right? Like these guys have taken those other courses and have that as an option. For me, it's just not an option. It's not an option for me, but I would refer it gladly to somebody like you guys, right? Like Vic or Wade or Mike or Janak, right? Janak, man, you and I have been friends for a while. How am I butchering your name or what? Like, how do you say your name, brother?
No, you're right. You're right. You listening to me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, you're hearing. Okay, yeah, Janak. Yeah, you're right, yeah. Brian. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like these guys that have that experience, I'm just gonna turn it over to them. Like, hey, Vic, take this deal and run with it, bro. Like, it's just not in my wheelhouse. But these guys that have got experience and know that, let them deal with it. Take a little fee if they close that deal or whatever, split it with them, whatever you guys agree to. But I'm going to tell you to stay laser focused on your first objection, which is getting that first deal under your belt or getting deals consistently, and then go out and learn. Like I know Vic and Mike and Wade, they've been doing this for years. They came to me not because they didn't know how to do it. They came to me because they wanted to take and scale and learn a better process for systematic reasons, right? Like these guys don't necessarily need me as much as they wanted me. And we've become really close on that respect. And heck, Mike's taught me a whole bunch of stuff. I've learned stuff from Vic at Masterminds. Wade's taught me all kinds of stuff. But for me, it's just not in my wheelhouse. I've got a brokerage, an investment company, a holding company, a property management company. So when I'm wholesaling, I'm blinders on and I'm wholesaling. Does that make sense, Kazim? Awesome. Awesome. Janak, you raised your, go ahead, Kazim, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I just said that makes sense. That makes sense. Thanks.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So,
Janak, you raised your hand. Go ahead, brother. What questions do you have, my friend?
yeah, like you mentioned just earlier, we've been talking for a while, but we haven't got a chance to work like together, right? I mean, and I'm kind of person like, I kind of get lost, and then all of a sudden, like, I try to keep in touch, like, okay, I'm still here in the market, just so if somebody wants to come up and wants to partner with you, like how you structure the partner, like in like, okay, what are the options of like partner, how you want it to be comfortable and how you want it to work and help together, at the same time. For example, like I had like a golf course deal, right? On the Garland, I reach out to you, I reach out to some other folks, and at the end of the day, I end up, not making money from that deal. It's a golf course in Garland, 154 acre with a commercial building, and which I could have made it, but I partnered with someone and he screwed me up, and then now I got to be really careful. And right now I have like a Holiday Inn in Dallas, got hit by the tornado, and I try to partner up on that one too. Like, and also I have like on the pipeline, I have like 30 property in Corsicana. So, and when there will be partnering, you always will be on my mind, Bryce, and you're really, really down to earth. Let me tell you this, this is a good opportunity for me to tell something about you. Like, I keep following, you guys and mostly other people, but you're one of the guys that I can trust, and I see your energy, a lot of energy, and then this is an example right now what you're doing, see, bring everybody like together, trying to do something, like trying to help people. So, and that's really appreciable, so coming back to my questions, like when you wants to partner with somebody, like what would be your like like proposal or how we can work in a partner, like
Yeah, so that's a great question, and so here's what I would ask. Janek, let's jump on another call and
okay.
shoot. Shannon Sands here. I always point to I don't know where it is
Totally.
on your screen, but you can see Shannon. Shannon, raise your hand and say hi. Shannon's my director of operations. And do me a favor, Shannon, shoot him a private message with your email. It's admin@reiaresultsacademy.com. And let's just jump on a call together, because I'd love to have you a part of this community here, because that's where I'm going to partner with first, number one. And number two, partnerships to me is not necessarily what most people think. For me, there's gotta be a relationship. Like, I'm not just going to be like, yeah, let's go do a deal together. I'm not going to do that with just anybody. But I'll always look at something, right? Like, it's a relationship. So there's got to be give and there's got to be take, but it's who's giving more and who's taking more that make partnerships go sour fast, number one. And number two, like you and I have talked via text, email, and voice messages, right? And I'll tell the world the same thing that I told you. Like, that deal's just not for me. Kind of going back to like what Gazim said. Like, I'd love to look at it, but 9 times out of 10, the deal's not going to be for me, because then I got to run 20 more comps and look at, get distracted from my business. And I've got a saying right here on my wall, 2020 and moving forward, I'm saying yes to less and no to more. And there's no disrespect to anybody.
Yeah.
I've got, 300 students and about 90 of them at any given point that are active, plus 5 companies and a whole bunch of employees. I've got to stay laser focused. And so that answer is really for the world. And I love your energy too. And that's why we've meshed and jived so well. So
I respect that, brother. I respect that.
absolutely.
Fair
Shoot
enough.
Shannon a message, shoot her an email, and let's definitely connect. And Shannon, if you would, shoot me a DM, make a note. As soon as we get off of here, we'll create a chat and get him my scheduler. So that way we can chat about what that looks like and getting into the academy. So that way we can start that relationship. So I really appreciate you, Jeanette. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you, Bryce. Thank you.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Vanessa, I see you got them kids over there working around the house. I love it, lady. I love it.
I'm shooting you a message. I have a question about if you have, I guess like a referral for an appraiser. I know that's something we normally wouldn't do in wholesale, but it's a friend that I'm helping out. And so they want to be able to, it's a burn property. So we need to like really determine, would it be, what the numbers make sense, but they're willing to pay for the appraiser. But since like we're not in retail, I normally don't deal with that. I don't know if you guys had a recommendation on somebody who could do an appraisal on a property.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So just shoot me a message. And when I get off of here, we can if you want to keep it private, shoot me a message. Otherwise, we can look at it on here as well. So, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, it's no big deal. I mean, I don't have any, like I said, we're just helping her out. So it's in what area? Lake Worth, Fort Worth, Texas area.
So we take a look at it. Let's take a look at it together. Are you okay sharing the address? Vanessa Strata.
I'm getting it.
Go ahead. All right, while she does that, I'm gonna take a look at some numbers here for Tammy. Who else has got questions that we can deal and help with before we move on? So Tammy, I got your message. You're looking at just a value, so we're looking at comps for this. Is that correct? Go ahead and take yourself off mute, hon. I won't share the address. Tammy. No worries, Vanessa. This is fun, but it's not fun when there's nothing to do.
Hey, are you going to be checking comps on Privé?
No,
Or do you use
not
Zillow?
at the moment. I'm actually going to show my God-given talent to show people how to actually use Zillow to like 90% accuracy as soon as Vanessa can find that address. But I appreciate that. Not on this call, Mike.
Oh,
Hey,
okay.
well, I can give you another one though. I got a lot under contract and I had a guy come back and tell me that I wouldn't be able to sell that because the size wasn't big enough to build a residential on. He said that it had to be a certain amount, which I was like, whatever, I'm not going to let you steal my joy, but I do got it under contract, but it's a corner lot.
So
And-
what would be the question, I guess? Because if there's not a question, I don't want to waste time just
Well, I
looking
just
at
want to
the-
see and make sure that I had, like, I did run comps on it, but I want to make sure that I have it priced right, or maybe I need to lower that.
Gotcha. Give me just a second. This is a tough one. Tammy, let me ask you this. On your property, is that an apartment / townhouse?
No, it's a house.
Are you sure?
Yeah. It's a 3
Oh,
bedroom.
I see. It's right next. Okay, it butts up against that. I see. So it's a 3.2 to 1,000 square foot. So 147 minus 50. I would say shooting from the hip, looking at the first two, the other 6,600 right around the corner sold for 140 3 years ago. A little bigger, I would deduct, because it's 400 square foot bigger, I would deduct 400 or $40,000 off. And I would say based on that one and the one down the street on the same side on the corner, they're both about the same. I would say that yours is right between 100 to 105 shooting from the hip. I'd need more information and time. I see that there's a whole bunch of comps you've got here. So that's 189. Ours is 1,000. That one is 1,700. So that's okay. So if you're looking at that first comp that you gave me, the 6601, that's a perfect example. It sold for 189.9, but it's 700 square foot bigger. So you basically deduct 70,000 because a multiplier of 10, and how I've showed you guys to use this on Zillow, right? That puts you at about 100 to 110 ARV on that property. Does that make sense, Tammy?
Yeah, if you look at the third one though, it's 1,090 square feet and it's 153. The difference is it's a new build. So I don't know what you deduct for that. Do you see that?
I wouldn't use that as a comp. It's a new build. It's not a comp. I wouldn't use that as a comp. It came across really funky too when you sent it. So I'm trying to piece together, just based on my access or knowledge of MLS, kind of, closed date, days on market, looking at those things. I wouldn't use a new build as a comp on something that would be a rehab unless you're tearing it down and building new. I would say based on these ones that are newer and on the interior lot, I would say that one there in its existence where it's at about 110,000. That's my opinion.
Okie dokie.
Maybe 120 because you've got a rent right there about 1,300, 1,250 to 1,300. You might be able to get 120, 125 for it, but that's pushing it considering it's older and then it's not comparable to the ones that are right behind it that are substantially newer.
All right, well, at least tell me where I need to be.
Say that again?
That at least tells me where I need to be to buy it.
Yeah. And I would just use that to your knowledge. So you guys can't see my screen because I'm keeping it private for Tammy's sake. But she's looking at a house that's built in the 50s. It's 1,000 square foot. Everything else is 17 to 2,000 square foot and built in the last year to 5 years. And so there's not really great comps for that particular property. So I'm going to deduct, cut in half, slice, and pry. And it's also on a really busy road, which doesn't help it compared to the comps that are available. So I would say 100 to 120. On the high end, 125 at the absolute most, but you're pushing it because of the year, date, and the comps that are available. So I thought I seen another question in here. Let me see. If you guys are just jumping on and you're watching the live stream over in the group, click the link, find the event in the group, and join us. There's no reason to be scared. All right, y'all, this is your call. Q&A. Questions I will try to answer. Vanessa, you had a lot you wanted to look at. Did you find the property address of the other one? No, no worries. You guys must be killing it out there. Everybody killing it, I hope.
Looking forward to killing it.
All right. So Vanessa shared with us 2528 Wills Point. Where is this at, Vanessa? Take yourself off mute, hon.
Sorry, I'm cooking and trying to do this. It's Fort Worth. Well, 76105.
2528 Wheels Point Drive Avenue.
Court. I just gotta make salad.
Got it. All right. What do you have it under contract for?
For 35.
You've got it under contract for 35. Are you aware that it's listed all over the internet at 45 for sale by owner?
Yes.
So
That was me. That's me.
that's you. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I'm negotiating that. But I have one guy who's interested, but he said somebody told him that in Fort Worth, your land had to be 5,000 square feet or more in order to build a residential on. So that's why he's hesitant about that.
I would challenge that. And I would go talk to the city about that. But it looks to me, let me find this on the map.
Yeah, like some of the comps I ran were showing that some were selling for like 35, 40, and then there was even one that sold 41, I think. The comp that the realtor friend of mine gave me.
I mean, if you're looking at the same map that I am, if anything, you've got a bigger lot than some of these other ones down the street here, right?
Yeah, and it's a corner lot at that, so.
Yeah, corner lots don't get me excited. Real quick, free tip on Thursday. Corner lots are the least valuable in the neighborhood. They only appeal to a certain little niche of people that like corner lots, and they're the least safe in a neighborhood. So I want you guys to remember location, 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 right? If it's a corner lot in like a university park where everybody's trying to keep up with the Joneses, then it might be appealing. But in most cases, 9 out of 10 corner lots aren't really the greatest thing in the world. So that was actually a lesson that we just taught our acquisition persons today on our new hire training. So I'm looking at this here and I'm seeing other lots. This lot here sold 2 years ago for $9,000. You might add, on a lot, you might add $2,000 for every year. So maybe 13 to 15 grand it might be worth. Here's another lot right over here. It actually doesn't have, let's see if it shows the lot sold. It sold 2 years ago for $5,600. And they built a house that's rent at $1,280, so 130 valuation, right? So I mean, you might add $2,000 for 3 years, so you've got $6,000 on top of that. Your best bet on that, just based off of what I'm seeing, you should probably have that thing under contract between $5,000 and $7,000 and turn around and sell it to a builder for 10 to 12.
Okay.
Well,
best. I think they owe still. They bought it for $30,000.
That's unfortunate. Some people will pay $1 million for a Pinto because they love it. It's just not worth it,
Okay.
So I would run from that deal as soon as you possibly can, and or renegotiate that deal down to like $5,000 or $6,000 and turn around and sell it for 10. That would be my opinion. Vic, you've got a lot of those deals. What do you think, brother? I see you nodding your head.
Yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing. I mean, and the area that's at, there's a lot of new builds, but the neighborhood is not super nice either. So just knowing the neighborhood I just saw it pop up on the map.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. And I mean, if I go to my builder buyers, I know exactly what they're going to tell me. They're like, what's the ARV? 130. Okay, I'll pay 10 grand. They usually are at 10% of ARV. That's what they're willing to pay.
Woo! Hold on, Vic. Hold on, Vic. Y'all just got a nugget that I don't think I've ever shared with you guys. Vic just shared with you the lot value is give or take a few thousand, but typically 10% of what the ARV or resold value.
Yeah. And that's what I use. I mean, if it's a nicer lot, a bigger lot, then they'll pay 15, and you got to look at utilities and all that headaches and things like that. But I usually like 10% of ARV. If it's selling for 200, they'll probably buy it at 20. I got to get it at 10 to make, or 15 to make $5 grand.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. That's good to know.
Yeah, that's usually my rule of thumb.
Vic, you just made me get all giddy inside, brother. That was a huge nugget for you guys.
Golden nugget.
It got written down on my end, let me tell you.
Keep it simple. A lot of people go crazy and they look at everything. I was like, no, what's the ARV? You know how to run ARV, right? We do it all day long. What's the ARV? Okay,
so I'm teaching my AV guy, Jesus, who's on this call. Yeah. He's done all of my social media stuff for like the last 4, 5, 6 months. And I'm teaching him how to do some acquisitions on the side. And we've just been going over with him and our other new hires. We've been going over comps all week. And Jesus, if you're listening to this, I want you to keep in mind that multiplier of 10 that I've been pounding in your head for everything else. This is the same thing. When you look at lots, it's 10% of what might potentially be built there. So that's a huge nugget, Vic.
Yeah, because from a flipping standpoint, from a builder, he's going to put 70% to build it. You selling it to him for 10, he's going to walk out to 20%. Yeah. And that's what they want.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's a huge nugget. That's a good nugget right there. As Vic drops the mic. No worries. No worries, Jesus. Man, you guys, this has been an amazing call already. I hope you guys understand the value on this call so far. It's priceless. Who else has got questions? Who else has got deals they want to discuss? Let's go. All right, let's role play. If we have no questions, we've got about 10 minutes here. I think that we should play Stump the Coach. Let's have some fun. Oh, we're dropping people off like flies. Who was that we just lost? No. All right, y'all, let's play Stump the Coach. It's storming out. This is kind of cool. A little green sky, maybe some tornadoes headed toward McKinney over here. Kind of exciting. Janek's got his mask on. No corona in his car today. I like it. I like it. If you guys have never heard me speak from stage, I have a pretty canned presentation, and that is this. The 3 rules to success is know your numbers, follow and trust the process, and have a no big deal attitude. When everybody's putting out, you should be doing this and you should be doing that, we're going to continue business like usual, laser focused on what we do best and share with the world. And that's my position on the Cronus. That's Janek's cool mask reminded me. Yes, I'm washing my hands and I'm taking care of what I should, but I'm not stressing. I'm ready to go. If you guys want to go with me. No. I'm waiting for some band of banshees to come down our cul-de-sac so I can just start picking.
Hey, there was on the news, there was people going into the rich areas over here saying that there's CDC people and actually robbing houses.
Yeah, they'd be in the wrong house if they came to my house.
I wish they come over here because
my former gangster would come out and start tying people up and slowly torturing them. So
seriously, I swear.
And then I might preach to them and convert them and put them on my team, So. All right, guys, who's playing Stump the Coach?
I'll play Stump the Coach.
Woo, Gazoo stepping up. Let's do this. Let's do this. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
If you're on this call and you're watching this live, I hope that you can join us. Click the link in the comments, show us some loves, likes, or whatever. Share this out. We're having fun, and this is where it's going to be really fun. We've already dropped a bunch of nuggets. Theme, let's do this. Ring, ring.
Hey, hello there. Who's this?
Hey, this is Bryce. How are you?
I'm fine.
Hey,
What's your name again?
I'm sorry?
What's your name again?
Yeah, my name's Bryce, and you are?
I'm Gazim. How are you doing?
Great. Hey, I'm fantastic. You sound excited, man. What's going on over there?
Oh man, my team just won a overtime game a few days ago, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Nice. What team is that?
It's the Knicks. You know, they rarely win games, so that's a special when they actually win a game. So.
Nice. So you're a Knicks fan. That's exciting, man. Well, hey, Gazim, I don't want to take up too much of your time. The reason for my call is simple. My partners and I buy houses, and I'm looking for a few in your neighborhood. If I made you a fair offer that made sense, would you sell me your house today?
Well, I've actually been thinking about selling my house. So yeah, tell me more. What can you offer me?
You know, that's a great question, and I appreciate that. I'm curious, how long have you been thinking about selling the house?
I've been thinking about it for about a year now. You know, been thinking about it. It's time to move on, move out to a different state. So, yeah.
Oh, wow. Tell me more about that. What changed a year ago that made you start considering selling the house today?
Well, you know, I'm about to get married. You know, move out of New York, raise a family. It's getting too expensive. So, you know, just want to sell the house and start over again in a new state.
Wait a minute. You're not starting over. You're just getting started. Congratulations. How long have you been with your new bride-to-be?
Just about 5 years now.
What the heck took you so long? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But seriously.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Hey, it's my pleasure. So you've been with this gal for 5 years and you're getting married now? When's the date?
Well, it's going to be in September. It's going to be September of this year. So
this year. How does that make you feel?
Well, a bit excited, a bit nervous. So all
Have
in
you
one.
ever been married before?
No.
Run. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that, Gazim. Don't do that. I'm just kidding. Well, man, I'm honored to be the one to help you out of this tough situation. So are you guys going to be upgrading or downsizing?
It's going to be an upgrade. So
congratulations. 2020 is your year, man. Are you guys expecting any little ones?
Well, not yet. Not yet. Probably in the near future, but
I don't sound too sure, Gazim.
Well, let's just say we got to talk about that with the wife, the soon-to-be wife.
You guys are going to plan it out and do it the right way, correct?
Exactly.
Good for you. In an ideal situation, I'm curious, how many kids would you have?
Well, I come from a big family, so.
Really? How many siblings do you have?
Well, I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters, so.
Oh, wow.
Something similar like that would be nice.
So if I'm doing the math right, does that mean you're one of 5?
Yes, that's correct.
Wow. Are you the baby? Are you right in the middle, or are you at the top? Where do you fall in that trend?
Well, I'm in the middle. You got that right. I'm in the middle. Just right in the middle.
Right in the middle. Okay. Well, man, that's exciting. So you said you come from a big family. Back to my question. You plan on making a big family yourself if the wife is okay with it?
Yep, that's my plan. Two boys, 2 girls.
Well, when you figure out how to specify which ones you have, you tell me.
Gotcha.
Gazim, you sound like you got a lot going on. It's awfully quiet over there. Are you at work today?
Well, you know, I've been working from home, so.
Oh, wow. What kind of work do you do that you can work from home?
Well, I work in the tech sector, so I get those days off where I can just sit back, wake up, and just log onto my laptop and just work the entire day from my home office. So that's a good thing.
Good for you. So you get to lay around in your underwear and get paid to do what you do anyways, huh?
Exactly.
Man, I've always envied you guys. Like, I'm out here beating my head against the wall, making appointments, and you guys get to work from home. That's super cool. How long have you been doing that?
For about 6.5 years now, man.
Oh, wow.
But hey, Coach, Bryce, what's going on, man? We were talking about the house. We're talking about family. Let's get straight to business, man.
Oh, you're one of those guys. Yeah, we can definitely do that. I like to know who I'm working with because I'm not a good fit for everybody, and I'm sure you can appreciate that. But I think that you'd be a great fit for who we are. We're personable. We like to have fun. It sounds like you like to have fun working in your underwear and all. So tell me a little bit about the house.
Well, what do you want to know? Baths,
That's a great
bedrooms?
question. It'd probably help if I had the address. So what's the address of the property you'd like to sell today?
Well, I don't like giving out the address before I know that you're serious about buying the house. So,
Nazim, here's the deal. At the end of the day, I'm more serious than a heart attack, and I can only work with people that are serious about working with me. You know, we could pull and swing sticks all day long to see who's who, right? But you got a house and I got cash. So you want to sell, I want to buy. That's how this works. But in order for me to make an offer, I need a little bit of information from you. Is that fair?
that's fair. Are you going to send me proof of?
Without that address, brother. So tell me, what's the address of that property you'd like to sell today?
Okay, the address is 123 Main Street.
123 Main Street. Looks like this property's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage. It's ideal, but not for a family. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And is this your personal property or is this a family member's?
Well, it's a family member that passed it down to me, so now I'm the owner.
Oh, wow. How long have you lived there?
Just under 2 years.
Under 2 years. And prior to that, was it in the family for a long time?
Yeah, we had it rented out, so it was under rent.
So I'm going to stop there. Gazim tried to get me off track a little bit. Gazim tried to get me to cut right to the numbers. Now everything else is step 3, and it's all my secret sauce of what questions I ask. And so if you want to know what questions we ask, you need to jump in our academy. In the meantime, Gazim, great call, man. And I can see where that's a normal call. Like, people are going to push you to take control. People are going to try to get you to just push forward an offer. And I'm always going to stick with what I do. And it's my process and my terms and their house. Does that make sense?
You know, you did it quite well. You know, I was kind of like leading you, and that just boom, turned it around, but you handled it very, very well. That was very good, Bryce. That was very good.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I like you were going for that proof of funds.
Yeah, right.
To see how he maneuvered out of that. He just maneuvered quick by changing the subject real fast.
I know. That was my next question. Yo, Mike, you're psychic. That was my next question, actually. I was like, show me the proof of funds.
That's my inner circle right there. Mike and Gazim are tracking together. I love it.
But yeah, man, Bryce
and on the same mindset. What was that, Gazim?
I said you did quite well the way you tried to take back that narrative. So that was pretty good.
I appreciate that. You guys, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm open to role playing with you guys any day, because it's fun, number one. And number two, it really helps sharpen our act. And so I want to encourage anybody, and especially you guys in the academy, I want to encourage you guys to make sure that you're role playing, right? Like, I know that you guys have been assigned an accountability partner, and, you know, if you haven't already taken advantage of that, get with Shannon, get with your accountability partner, and role play. Because the more you do it, the more it becomes natural, and the more tools in your belt come from hearing how other people say things, right? Like, I've got the script, and we go by it word for word, but when people throw curveballs, you got to know how to identify that curveball, step up to the plate, and swing more often than not. And so I appreciate that, Gazim, but this has taken years of experience and trial. If you go watch the video that Jesus posted today in all of my social media, like, I've been perfecting this craft since I was 8 years old. Am I the best? I'm the best up until this point, but I've got room for improvement always. And there's a reason why I've got my script right here. There's a reason why I've got my script for my brokerage and what I train my agents right here right on my desk in these particular files. I practice, practice, practice. There's no professional athlete that's out there that takes a day off. Every day they're swinging the bat, throwing the ball, doing the motions, right? Like Peyton Manning, I mean, that guy, I mean, you look at Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, like the best of the best, right? These quarterbacks, what do? You think they're practicing running plays or practicing being on the line? No. What do? They do this all day long. They throw passes. That's what they practice. They look at their form. They look at their critiques from their coaches, and they go over and over and over until they get better and better. And what do we say in our academy? On every call, we get better and better. All right. So I want to encourage you guys to make sure you're role playing. If you don't have an accountability partner or you haven't taken advantage of that, message Shannon and get your accountability partner scheduled together so that you guys can role play and perfect this craft. I love role playing because it helps me get better and better. So, all right, y'all, it's 6 o'clock. This is your call. Any questions, comments, concerns, or needs until next week? Gazim, thank you, by the way, brother. I appreciate you.
So Bryce, question for you. Do sometimes when you call up a seller, did they ask for proof of funds? How do you handle that question if they ask for proof of funds?
Number one, 9 out of 10 times they never do because they don't know what the heck proof of funds is. If they're asking for proof of funds, they're probably some other investor, and there's a reason why they're trying to unload the property, and I want to dig even deeper. So if they say, you know, hey, can you provide proof of funds? Proof of funds? Why is that important to you? Let me guess. So that you know I'm going to buy the house? Great. You got a house. I got cash. I want to buy. You want to sell. But we got to figure out where we're at before we even start talking about dollars making sense. And if you need proof of funds, sure, I'll show it to you. But let's see if we can even do this deal first. And I just brush it off. By the end of the conversation, they love me because I've went through the 5-step conversation. I built rapport. I bridged the gap correctly. I built a limiting belief in their mind. And then I closed them on the deal and the number that I would offer. And then it's just a matter of getting an email and then sending them the contract. So if they ask, why is that important? You must have done this a few times, huh? You've been burned? Oh, wow. Tell me more about that. This is the 3rd time you've tried to sell this house. What the hell's wrong with this house? There's a bunch of buyers out there. This isn't about having the funds. This is about getting the price right and knowing what repairs are needed. So talk to me about the house. So I'm going to dig deeper, right? Now, if it comes down to it and we work a deal and they ask for proof of funds, sure, I can do that. That's no big deal. And then I screenshot my bank account, or I have the title company draw up a quick dummy letter that says, you know, hey, we've closed hundreds or thousands of deals, just kind of depending on who I'm dealing with this guy. And he's definitely good for 125,000 or whatever the purchase price is specific to theirs. And I have them send it over. But I'm not going to provide proof of funds and go. It's just like every other screw-roo, do-roo guy out there, right? They all want proof of checks and proof of HUDs. I don't care about that. You're not doing business with me, so why do I care to show you my bank account? Like, I don't care. You guys in the academy, we're doing business together. You guys want to see? I've got thousands of checks. Thousands of checks. And this is just, I only keep every 3 months in my drawer. Every 3 months, these go in a folder, right? Jesus was in my office. He's seen them. It's just not that important to me. And it's not really, that's not really the objection when they're saying they want proof of funds. The objection is probably more along the lines of they've been hurt, they've been taken advantage of, they've had deals fall apart. And we want to talk about that. Why is this deal falling apart? Is the property worse than what you're really sharing here? And really dig into that pain, right? Like find the pain, agitate it, and dig a little deeper, and then your solution will come to the top. Does that make sense?
And Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah. So got a quick question. Just maybe I have missed some of the episode on the negotiating with seller. You know, most of the time the seller keep asking like more than what we expected. You know, maybe more than 100,000. Like we've been expecting for like 220,000, but they keep asking like they start from like 350,000, right? And maybe that's the one of the most common problem that we as a wholesaler see that in our daily life, you know. And like so how long you gonna stick with those kind of seller, and when what is the time that you think like, okay, it is not my worth of my time to stick with this seller, so just leave it now, let go.
Gotcha. So what Janek is asking is sellers being unrealistic and they want way more than what it's worth. I'm going to go 3, 4, 5, 6 times. Hey, Vanessa, thank you so much, hon. I appreciate you. Enjoy your dinner. If you got leftovers, you know where I live, lady. Shoot one over here. Appreciate you. So what Janek is asking is this. If you've got an unrealistic seller, what is it that you can't distract me with steak and potatoes like that, lady? I'm trying to work here. No, I'm trying to answer his question. If you're watching this live, you don't know that we got a chat over here and she's making steak and potatoes. So Janek's asking, what if the seller's being unrealistic? Well, number one, the difference between every other seller and wholesaler, I mean. Night, Chris. Love you, brother. Every other wholesaler and myself and our academy members is this. We've got a proven process to break down their belief systems. And 9 out of 10 times, if they want 300 for a price point of 200, by the time we go through our process and ask the questions, they're about halfway or 3/4 the way down. So if they're starting out at 300, it really boils down to how you create the fear, pain, and loss and where they're coming up with their number. And so if they're at 300, like you've got to build rapport. I never even talk about numbers until I know their family, their friends, their kids, their work, how long they've been there, where they're going tonight, party, what they're doing on the weekend. You know, like form, family, occupation, recreation solves motivation. If you know what somebody's for, you'll always truly solve their motivation. And so the first 3/4 of the call is just building rapport. And then the last part of the call is really digging into utilizing the questions, or what I call asking defeating questions, and digging into their pain and making them take ownership of it. And so once you've done that and you create a limiting belief, their 300 is more like 250 or 225. And I'd much rather negotiate 15 to 20 grand than 100 grand. That's the first thing. So I go through this step and process. And then when they see there's only that small little difference, well, heck, that's the difference of your house sitting on the market 2 or 3 months with an agent that's overpriced. That's the difference of putting in the rehab. Do you have 30 or 40 grand to get that extra $10,000 or $15,000 profit? So you're talking potatoes to tomatoes. Like, it doesn't work. Vanessa's got me thinking about food now. I'm hungry. And so when there's that little of a difference, 10 or 20,000 to negotiate, that's a difference of realtor fees, closing costs, rehab. And now your offer can actually make more sense and give them more cash than they would if they put the investment in and wasted 9 months trying to manage a project that they don't know how to do, and then hiring a realtor and then paying
6% commission. Yep.
Yeah.
That's totally got you.
So that's how I overcome that. I make sure that I build the rapport, and then I ask them the defeating questions. Now, if they're stuck on stupid, as I call it, and they're still like, nope, I'll only take 300. Well, 300 is not going to work. And when you don't get 300 for it and you call me back, don't be mad at me when I tell you I told you so. And you'd be surprised, and Shannon can vouch for this, how many people call us back and say, all right, we'll do your number, because they can't get theirs.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
So how do I negotiate that and really make it to life? 9 out of 10 times, that's why. That's how.
Okay.
The last Hail Mary that I throw at them is like this. 1, let's talk about it. So do me a favor, Jeanette, and if you were my seller, I would have you do this and write it down. Over the phone, I'm telling you to grab a piece of paper.
Okay.
I go through what I call a T-chart, and it looks just like this.
Uh-huh.
And I make them write down on a piece of paper. Hey, draw a big T on that paper.
Okay.
Now at the top left, I want you to write retail. And the top right, I want you to write cash today. You
Okay.
want 300? I think your house is worth 300.
Mm-hmm.
If it's been fixed up on the retail market.
Yep.
So let's go ahead and use your number, 300,000. You got
Mhm.
realtor fees at 6%. So now you're at what? 6, 12, 18,
18,000.
20-some $1,000 in commission.
Mhm.
You got closing costs. That's another 1.5% on both sides. So now you've got, another 12 grand. You've got appraisals, surveys, inspections. The list just goes on and on. So let's just round it all around 20 grand. So 20 and 20 is 40 grand. Your 300 is more like 250, 260. Does that make sense?
Totally makes sense.
I'm
Yep.
ballparking these numbers and I'm stacking them on top of each other. For one, I'm going to create a confusion. And 2, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show them their best case scenario. And now your 300,000 is more like 240 to 250.
Hmm.
But wait, we talked about the house and you need 40,000 to get it up to 300. So now your 240 to 250 is more like 200 to 210, right?
Yep.
Do you have 40 grand to get the 300?
No.
Even if you did, you'd be walking away at your bottom line around 200, right?
Yep.
Great. Do me a favor. Move to the other side of the paper where it says cash today
Mm-hmm.
and write down 200,000.
Okay.
So can you see where my cash today and your cash next year are exactly the same?
Yep.
So let me ask you this. Why would you put yourself in a position to pay more taxes, utilities, and have more things go wrong and possibly even lose more money?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the
Totally.
light bulb goes off. So what's your email, Janek? I'll send you over a contract for the same 200 you might get next year. I'll give it to you today. What's your email? And I'll send them over a contract and boom, I got their deal. If they're
Gotcha.
still stuck on stupid, they want 300. Hey, good luck with that. And when you don't get your number or you get it the same way I just told you, call me back and don't be mad when I tell you I told you so.
That's the real gem. That's the real gem there. I appreciate it, sir.
Yeah, brother.
I
All right,
appreciate
y'all, it's 1:15. I got food waiting for me somewhere, but it's not in my belly. I love you guys. God bless you. Stay sharp. And for
Thank
my
you.
academy, I'll see you guys on Tuesday. We got something special for you next week. I'm excited. Love you guys.
Love you too, Coach. Have a good one.
All right.
Take care.
Love you too.
Bye.